And that's also a problem. Exact quantities required. Yes, perfect. And this should improve turrets. This one, probably not the other one. And so, at this buffer, we can have an output and then a split, and then one of these goes to the not prerequisite, the predetermined destination. I don't think that will work later. So instead, what other options? We can preemptively route to science, then around to power. Or, better than that, route to science and power from this angle, which is exactly what this split can be used for immediately. Well, I should probably leave room for the crystal matrix. And military structures to draw aggression away from the science structures. Which should be produced manually, as well as more turrets, and already need a resupply of raw minerals. Good enough. And stone, of course. And so now we are not gridlocked away from more furnaces, which are required for both science production, faster inserters probably, as well as other things that were intended to be automated, such as production of turrets. Oh, that's a problem, actually. Good enough. And this will need to be routed far east, then north. And since a belt has a very small cross-sectional profile, one tile, which is the minimal possible, it should be simple to route this. The only thing easier to route would be power, which is dots isolated from each other, spaced usually equidistantly. And this may get in the way of future modules, which is the opposite of what we want. So actually, this all needs to be rethought. This is incorrect spacing, because if the outlet were to be here, we would need to put this here every time, which is expensive, needlessly expensive. So instead, it should practically be integrated into the main belt. No. Actually, these would be necessary anyway for the passover between ammunition and everything else. That's not as much of a problem anymore, but no less irritating. Well, minutely less irritating. Actually, we don't need to bring this very far. In fact, this is practically far enough already. I doubt there will be very many expansions later to the main belt that would cause problems. And just for measurement. And since this was designed to be as predictable as possible, it should be simple to expect where these bridges will need to be in the future. And that's as many as there should ever need to be. And the turrets can be moved forward to this position here. Here. And they'll funnel through this. What would that be called? Corridor. Yes, a very small corridor into the killing chamber. So that's that problem solved for the foreseeable future. Only 2 nests preemptively. No other nests discovered or detected. And the matrix can expand to the right by 1 tile. or down by one tile. Now the arms. Now the belts first, then the arms. This is the outlet of this branch. And we already have 2 components that are necessary for the next step of the process, or the next phase of the process. And so these 2 can be combined to form one stream, and that can be the next other stream. The module can be here, and they could both feed into these 2 sides and output on either of these 2 sides. But is the total feed rate the same, or does it need to be altered? That would require very precise math in order to actually detect. It looks like the ingredients, the elements, are doubled in terms of iron and tripled in terms of copper, and the production rate is between those 2, and so this is probably close enough. This is so unnecessary. Yet again, overthinking everything. Straight to oblivion. And these fast arms now make these old arms obsolete. And there, of course, the module itself is the first thing to be upgraded, which makes perfect sense. The buffer can be moved to exactly here. May need an input buffer as well to get rid of all of these old arms temporarily. Oh, look at how much more efficient this is already. There. Now, what's the primary problem? The circuits. Specifically, the cables.